atlutdfantv 1-0 loss against the New York Red Bulls. It seems like a deja vu every single time against the club, for sure. It's just very annoying, for sure. But, we got a full debut for the new boy in Marcelino Moreno and a controversial goal scored for New York Red Bulls. What'd you think of the match?
Yeah, I think the best breakdown, the most succinct breakdown I can say is that it was a tale of two halves. Unfortunately, it didn't work in our favor. But I thought in the first half you saw, like we've talked about it before, I think we are developing an identity, and I think you saw a clear game plan as to how Atlanta United wanted to attack and defend. And I think that for the most part, they executed that well. It's just, in the final third, they would just didn't have that bit of quality. But but no, I thought, it was a solid approach. I didn't think Red Bulls really had very many, if any, looks at goal. Especially more so in that. I mean, really in either half, but more so in that first half. Um, and yeah, I thought Moreno himself was a big part of that. I thought he had good energy. Keeping in mind that he's playing in his first match since March, and for him to start the match, get his full debut without even having a training session, it definitely did take me catch me off guard a bit.
Without having
But I thought he
even
was
met his
solid.
teammates.
Right, exactly, right? Did they know his name when they were out there, shouting instructions and whatnot? But anyway.
I'm sure they're aware
uh
of the move, and he's been in and around. Probably they've seen him, maybe, but yeah, it's
right.
yeah, it's I think many would say that maybe that's a bold move, to do that by starting a guy that maybe isn't even match fit, right?
Yeah, I think what I took from that was the urgency to get a player like him in the lineup, like a quality midfielder, somebody who's going to help with the transition. Um and like I said, I thought he did that pretty well for the most part in the first half. Maybe some of the touches weren't as sharp, but I think you could see like the kind of player he is. I think you did see some of that technical ability, and when he gets training sessions in, when he gets more familiar with his teammates, I think he will get better. In the second half, I think he dropped off, and I think that's only to be expected, really, when you play a player who hasn't played in I think 7 months, right? The one thing I wonder is would it have been should they have made a more proactive move in terms of subs? Like I am surprised that Rbny didn't take part in this match. I thought he would start because he didn't start versus DC or Orlando, um, but he doesn't take part in this match. So would a Remedy for Moreno halftime sub, would that have made a difference? But it's easy for me to say in retrospect.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Especially I think when the goal comes early in the second half, it's a different game, and it's an uphill battle. It's against Red Bulls who play one type of way, and so it was always going to be more difficult from there. And I think that there was a drop off in the second half overall from the team. We It seemed like Red Bulls were winning more of the duels. It seems like Red Bulls were having the ball in our half a little more. So it's just like I said, tale of two halves. Yeah, and it's just one of those things where I think the finals are the play. When we get to the final third, that's when you really see the lack of quality.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that's where you can really tell that we're missing players, and that's no offense to the players that we have on there, but it's just you can tell it's just something missing. Like they weren't able to really fashion a chance. I'm not sure if we even finished the match with a shot on target because I know it was deep into the match. I think the 70th, maybe even 80th minute that we did not have a shot on target, and the XG for both teams was below zero point 0.5. So I mean, it was a very scrappy game. Some would call it drab even. Um, the Red Bulls goal controversy aside, it was a quality strike. So take nothing away from the teenager, having
Seems
that
like
moment. But
Brad Guzan definitely does kind of allow these kind of big moments for kind of new boys to get one on him a little bit. Unfortunately, it's unfortunate.
Yeah,
Speaking about Aronson with Philadelphia, of course, in that
right.
incident, but it definitely is something of contention. Like,
Yeah,
do you think it's an impeded strike? Do you think he was offside?
he was definitely offside. I think. So I think there's two arguments to it.
Mm-hmm.
There's the still shot where okay, Guzan can see the ball all the way from the player to into his goal. So he's not technically not impeded when the shot is taken. However, right before that shot is taken, Roy moves across his line of vision, and so and the ball heads towards Royer a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and to the point where Royer moves his foot out of the way. I think Guzan has to consider Royer in his peripheral as the shot is coming to him. So I think that he is unlucky as far as I'm concerned. I thought they would call it back like they did in the semifinal in 2018, but apparently not. I'm surprised the ref didn't even go over and take a look at it. I guess that's VAR saying no, you don't need to, but I don't know. I think it deserved at least a look. I
Mm-hmm.
think it would have felt a little bit better if the ref looked at that and said, "Okay, the goal stands," but
Yeah,
it is what it is.
because it ultimately is the only goal in the match, and yeah, some may feel a little hard done, and apparently the ref has defended that no call. So
Right.
it's definitely I think more of the huge for Atlanta against New York Red Bulls. There's tiny
Unfortunately,
margins
yeah.
essentially, and that's what happens. But
Yes.
in terms of Moreno, we'll get more in depth on a podcast for sure. But in terms of Moreno, at least ultimately for this match, what did you see that is promising in returns for him in the squad for the future?
I think his work rate is definitely promising, and I think his ability on the ball. We didn't see too much distribution, I think, from him today. Um, but I think that'll he's probably not used to enough to his teammates yet, and to how we play to really be type. But no, I mean, I think he definitely is. He definitely seems like anyway a quality midfield player. Um, and I think what'll be interesting to see is how we set up going forward. Will this be the setup? Will Rbny come back into the fold? We have another match on Wednesday, so you got to figure Remedi's gonna at least
Mhm.
take part in that. I
Will
can't. I can't
Ezekiel
see.
Barco play another match for Lady United?
Right, right. All of that. It's yeah. That's jeez. We could get into the whole Barco thing, but
Yeah, that's a whole segment in a podcast
yeah.
for sure. But
Exactly.
anyway,
Exactly.
thank you so much for your
Yeah.
time, Mark.
What?
Oh no, go ahead
One
if
more
you
thing.
sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think Escobar's center back was very good. And I
Mhm.
think that's something that should be at least considered going forward. Maybe even like I already put it on Twitter, but like a Miles Escobar pairing.
Mhm.
That could be interesting. But yeah, I mean, like I thought there were some good things. We just didn't have the quality to get the result today, unfortunately.
Mhm. No, I see what you're saying. Yeah, a little bit of one of each. One that's a little bit more solid defensively, and one that's a little bit more adventurous and solid on the ball. Yeah, I could see.
Yeah.
That's one of those classic center back pairings that could do quite well, and the pace on both not too bad.